After spending the night at Raitahi, we drove up through National Park and around the mountains to Turangi. Our plan was to spend a couple of nights and explore the area, but plans can change. Turangi is a small town that sits on the southeastern edge of Lake Taupo. It is famous for trout fishing and is close to the Tongariro River. We were not here for the fishing though. We parked Dottie at the NZMCA park, then headed to some local hot pools for a soak in the thermal water. Is that one doing it?
Yeah. This one's better. That's the second one.
The Tokaanu thermal pools and walk was quite a surprise. We booked a pool but had to wait about half an hour, so we did the thermal walk. It was very pretty. Normally you have to pay for this sort of thing, but it was free to access. It's just everywhere. Look at the colour of that. Yeah, beautiful colours. That looks like there's a sort of a cave under there. Might do, yeah. Steamy video. It's got to be good for your pores. Look at the colour, isn't it gorgeous?
Mm.
The Lake Rotoponamu walk is about 5.9 kilometres long, and it takes about 2 hours to complete. The lake is a landslide-formed crater lake fed by 7 streams, but with no visible surface outlet. Thoughts are that it drains underground. The forest around the lake was stunning, with much bird life. Rotoponamu means lake of jade, and the water is quite green, but the day we were there was a little bit cloudy, so it wasn't quite showing up as well as normal. The Potu Dam and Canal is part of the Tongariro power scheme and is a hydroelectricity scheme that was built in stages from 1964 to 1983. The scheme diverts water via canals from the Rangitikei, the Whangaihu, the Whanganui and Tongariro rivers. These rivers drain the 2,600 square kilometre area of the Ruapehu, Ngauruhoe, Tongariro area and the Kaimanawa Ranges. The water is sent through canals to 3 hydroelectric power stations, Rangipo at 120 megawatts on the Tongariro River, Tokoanu Power Station at 240 megawatts near Turangi, and Mangaio with 2 megawatts. The water from all the stations is discharged into Lake Taupo. Annually, the 3 stations generate approximately 1,350 gigawatts of power, which is about 4% of New Zealand's electricity generated. The Potu Dam and Canal diverts water from the Tongariro River into Lake Rotorua, which is then fed by pipes to Tokoanu Power Station. So these are like gates that they could close to stop this water coming through the race. At the Wairehu Canal, we came across a robot weed cleaning device, collecting weed from the Lake Otamangakau side before it empties into the canal that leads to Lake Rotorua. You can see the pile of weed to the left. This robot works continuously. Once it has completed a scoop, it slides along the track and dumps it onto the pile. Ooh, whitewater rafting on that, eh? So Lake Otamangakau is a man-made reservoir that drains into Lake Rotorua via the Wairehu Canal. This water is then fed into the Tokoanu Power Station. We then visited the Kaimanawa Forest Park and the Potu Canal intake dam on the Tongariro River. We had camped here about 4 years ago in our Toyota Hi-Ace van, but you can no longer stay at Freedom Camping on that site. While we were there 4 years ago, we saw these people river rafting. Up the road from the intake dam are some dock camps. We drove up there and went for a walk in the rain to the Pillars of Hercules. We could not see the pillars as the trees blocked the view from the bridge. Might be down there. Woo! beautiful spot, but whoa. Dodgy suspension bridge. I found a slightly blurry photo of the Pillars of Hercules, and you can see that the river undercuts some big blocks of rock, and the bridge actually goes over the top. You can see the bridge in the top of the photo. So he's shot off into the distance. After touring around Turangi and walking a very small part of the Tongariro crossing, Paul decided that he wanted to do the whole thing. We had to wait for 2 days for a good weather window. He was not that well prepared, having only running shoes, but he borrowed my hiking poles, and we packed lunch and plenty of water and cold weather gear. Then he was off on the 20.2 kilometre one-way hike. The trek begins at the Mount Tongariro car park. You head on to Soda Springs, up the steep descent of the Devil's Staircase to the South Crater and Plateau. Then another climb to the highest point, the Red Crater at 1,868 metres. You then begin the descent on loose scoria past the Emerald Lakes onto the flat Blue Lake section. Then the long descent down through changing vegetation to the Ketitahi Road car park. Following, you'll hear Paul talking about some of his walk. He's a bit hard to get information out of, but it gives you a bit of an idea. But just talk about this, what you're seeing in the video, basically, as you're walking off. What were your thoughts? Can you remember?
Oh my God, what have I started?
So that's going up.
That's looking back down where you've come from, I think.
Mm. And then the mountain. How much track was there? How much of the boardwalk was there?
There's quite a few bigger areas of boardwalk, yeah, especially through these sort of swampy bits that were on that part of the...
Yeah, so that's near the Soda Springs, isn't it?
Well, before you get to the Soda Springs, yeah.
Mm.
And the track is actually through those watery bits.
Yeah. And so that's the Soda Springs, the waterfall?
Well, I didn't taste it, but apparently it was the Soda Spring.
Okay.
You wonder where the water comes from, because it's just rocks up there.
Yeah, just coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And was this where you nearly fell over?
Yeah.
Is that just because it was wet and muddy?
Yeah, where the water was running over the rocks all the time. It got real slippery, and you had to walk, and the track was sort of through that, so you had to do your best not to slip over.
Yeah. And so from there you started to head up.
That's where from there it started getting real steep.
Up to the what they call the Devil's Staircase.
Yeah, lots of stairs.
Yeah. I'm not too sure what part that is, but
no, me neither.
I think you've got up to the Red up to the Devil's Staircase, and you're looking...
I think that's on the way up the Devil's Staircase.
Yeah.
When I
got
a bit
and there's the track.
Knackered and needed to stop.
Yeah.
Because that fella was catching up.
Oh, okay.
Needed to get going.
Needed to. So this was part of the steep bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you hadn't quite got up to the red crater yet.
And
that's looking back down.
Well, that's that first plateau that you get up to.
Yeah.
That's after that first big climb.
Yeah.
And you come up to that big plateau.
So that's looking down towards where you've come from, and then this is up on the plateau.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they call it the South Crater.
Yeah.
This bit. And then you have to climb up again, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, you do. It's a bit daunting, actually. You look around there and you think, oh gosh, where are we going to go now?
Yeah. Up that hill. No. So that's where you've come from?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you start going up and over to the...
Up to the red, then
the red crater.
Another big climb up to the red crater. So that's when I'd got up to the...
Top of the crater.
Yeah, up to the top of the red crater.
Yeah. And was that where it was really windy?
Really windy, and the mist and clouds would come over all of a sudden and just blank everything out.
Yeah.
And it was bitterly cold up there.
And that's where you would got to go down. That's the downward track from where you are. Yeah,
it was hard to get a good photo from up there because every time the mist cleared, by the time you got your gloves off and your camera organised, it would all mist over again.
And so you walk past these blue lakes?
Well, you walk down a real steep scree slope down to get to those lakes, and you go right to the lakes.
Yeah. And you keep on going down, obviously, because that's what those people are doing.
And there's the track continuing on across the next sort of crater.
Yeah.
To the next climb. There's lots of those steam vents around the place.
Yeah. So vivid, aren't they? They're greens and them. So that's looking back up, isn't it? Up the track that you came down.
The steep scree slope.
Yeah. And that up there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gil. And then you went past the lake. I think that's looking back towards where you came from.
Yeah. And this is actually looking on the side of the mountain where you're coming down.
Yeah. And then you drop down into the bush.
Yeah, lovely bush.
And how long were you walking in the bush for?
Probably 3 hours.
Yeah. That was quite away from there, wasn't it?
You followed the stream down for quite a bit, which was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing about the bush part was it wasn't quite so steep anymore.
Yeah.
So would you do this walk again?
Probably.
Yeah. But with someone next time?
Yeah, probably that would be better.
Yeah. Mm. And perhaps with proper shoes?
Yeah, that'd help.
Hello. I thought I'd come and meet you a little of the way. I'll carry you the rest of the way. No, I don't think so. Action. Well, I've just dropped Paul off at the Tongariro crossing, and I'm heading down to a place called Gollum's Pool, or Tawhai Falls, I think it's called. Tawhai Falls. But it was used in Lord of the Rings, apparently.